The film starts with a small girl named Hale, who follows her dad to a house, where she hears someone whispering her to tear up her face. She does the same, and it seems as a dream, and wakes up. Her mom, Natsife, sees Hale puking something black from her mouth. Few days later, a girl named Azra meets her future sister-in-law Ebru about their plan with Ebru's brother Selim. Elsewhere, Hale was shown where she goes crazy, speaks to herself, and cuts a doll's hand. Azra, on the other hand, hears a noise inside the shop, where she works, and checks to see a grasshopper, which suddenly turns into a djinn similar to Selim and scares her. At that instant, she acts as Different goes inside a room in the store where a djinn similar to Haley binds her with hair, and she falls unconscious. Later that night, Selim goes to his house, and there he has a scary encounter with his dead mother. Azra, on the other hand, reaches her home, and there her mom, Gulten, blabbers about her son Zahir. Ebru and her husband Arif were having dinner where she hears her daughter shouting. She reaches the room where her daughter was searching for something in the bed, where the bed falls on top of her. Elif then comes out from the toilet where all the incident was an illusion for Ebru. Selim was shown where he has a dream in which his mom warning him that if he marry Azra, their child would be born with disability just like his brother who died at 5. He gets scared and wakes up after the encounter, but he sees the hemp that his mom had with her in the floor. Gulten on the late night walks towards a room where her dead husband tells her that Azra belongs to them and scare her. Hale calls for help, and Azra follows the voice to outside and sees a doll's head in ground and takes it in the hand where suddenly 2 djinns similar to Hale and Selim scares her. She wakes up in fear as the encounter was a dream and sees Hale and her mom outside, where Hale explains that she helped her grandma as she went out. Next day, Ebru was cleaning Elif's room, and there she sees a black scorpion on Elif's back and tries to push it, but it was an illusion. She then calls her brother as he was ring shopping and asks him to meet her, but he declines, informing her that he will meet her after proposing to Azra. Azra's mom hears some whispering to burn Hale, so she goes to the kitchen and places oil in a pot and boils the oil and enters inside Hale's room where a djinn scares her. Selim and Azra were having a date where he proposes to Azra and she accepts. Later on the drive, she explains her family situation where her brother killed his dad and walked out of family, and his whereabouts are unknown for 12 years. Later that night, Ebru hears her daughter asking for help where she searches the whole room, and when she opened the wardrobe, a djinn scares her. Selim reaches his house where he has some intuition which changes him, so he goes to his jewel shop and puts all the jewels and money inside a bag and throws it in a river. He wakes up shocked because of the dream, whereas Azra wakes up to Hale warning her to stay away from Selim and disappears. She then hears noises from her mom's room and checks to see her brother Zahir, her dad Gulten, and Nazifi are like djinns and gets scared. In the morning, Selim sees his store fully empty and checks CCTV to see him looting the store at the night similar to the dream he had. Later that day, he and his friend visit a Hoja who sees a djinn in the water reflection and delivers a name, which the djinns gave them. In the night, he calls Azra and asks her to meet him the next day to talk about an important thing. After the call, he goes to sleep where his mom and brother scare him. He goes to the restroom to see the gold in the toilet and tries to grab the gold where his hand gets stuck and the djinns scare him again. Hale was shown in the house where she gets a dream in which she walks inside a cave where djinns tell her to kill Azra and join her dad. Azra wakes up and sees Hale sitting in the bed where Hale asks her about Grandpa, whose name Azra was mentioning in the sleep. In the morning, Hale draws something and walks towards her grandma's room and asks them to tear the drawing. Azra visits a mosque and prays as she has been having constant nightmares. Later, Ebru checks her brother to see him hurt and admits him in a hospital. After praying, Azra reaches home, where her brother Zahir holds her to a chair, and Nazif injects a sedative. Nazif then reveals that Azra's dad used to do evil things using djinns, but he loved his son so much that he made a pact with djinns to sacrifice Azra to save her brother Zahir as he was suffering from cancer. He made all of them participate in the sin as he doesn't want to take blame for himself. When the ritual to sacrifice was happening, Gulten's mind changes and she killed her husband to save Azra. As an effect, Zahir went missing after the ritual, and Gulten went crazy. They then planned to finish what they started by sacrificing Azra again. Hale stabs herself to save Azra, which causes the djinns to kill Gulten and Nazif. Azra was left alive and Zahir once again goes missing. The movie ends with Hale, Gulten, and Nazif dead in the house, and Selim and Azra got married after 6 months. To see more videos, hit the like, share, and subscribe button.